National Prosecuting Authority's Investigative Directorate has welcomed the victory in a court battle to recover the over 1 billion rand assets of Regiment Capital. The Investigative Directorate saying that the funds are the proceeds of possible fraud, corruption and money laundering arising from the regiment's advisory services to Transnet. Let's get more on these developments. Let's speak now to the ID's spokesperson, Sindisiwe Seboka. Ms. Seboka, thank you very much for your time. So regarding this 1 billion rand restraint order, what have you done differently this time around, and what makes you confident that this latest preservation order will stick?
So we must state that this is the precursor or one of our initial cases. Initially, this restraint was granted in 2019 in November. There was a back and forth. We lost in 2020, and now when we went back to court, we basically showed that the material, the reason that we lost, they were citing that there were material facts that we did not disclose that were somewhat of interest for the court. Now we actually basically laid the foundation that the material facts that the court accused had actually mentioned aren't basically the end all and be all. There are other factors to take into consideration, and to also look at the liquidity of the other accused and how they benefited from the alleged proceeds of crime. Yeah. So what we did differently this time is to also look into the matters surrounding what transpired. We had access to the regiment server in 2019. We also spent significant time combing through that particular evidence in order to present it in court.
All right. Let's talk then about the directors of this company. And I'm thinking of people like Eric Wood, Lita Nyonya, and others. Is there specific action that is looming against the directors of this company?
You know how the investigating directorate operates. We never preempt anything. We do not ever want to forewarn people of our intentions. But what we can say in a nutshell is that, as you've seen, the Zondo Commission report came out not so long ago, and it spoke extensively about corruption that took place in Eskom. Coming back to Transnet, as the ID, we have said that our focus is on state-owned entity corruption, and we're going to pursue the evidence in relation to that. Having looked at the evidence that has been submitted, or the recommendations rather, that have come out of the fourth installment of the report, we still have to basically look at whether that can hold up in court. You know that we're answering a completely different balance. The Commission answered a balance of probabilities. We're answering beyond reasonable doubt. So coming back to your question, Transnet in its totality is going to be investigated. We have started. The investigations was declared as early as 2019, so we're continuing with that.
Two quick questions, finally. Because of time, I'm going to club them all at once, very briefly if you can. Firstly, that word you used, this is a precursor of things to come. What's in the pipeline, considering the latest report from the Zondo Commission? But finally, complex financial crimes are still a major challenge for the ID, and we're talking capacity. So how much capacity have you built over the last 3 years of existence in terms of experienced prosecutors?
So Advocate Grenier laid the foundation. Now we're on the second phase of the ID with Advocate Andre Johnson. You know, her expertise are in criminal prosecutions. So now the next phase is basically going after some of the accused cited in a more criminal leg to it. So you're going to be seeing more and more people being arrested, brought to court to come to Boko to account for their criminal, the criminal aspect of what they've done. But what we must also cite is that in terms of capacity, we are now employing a whole host of avenues. You know, we've said this many a times, that the 2008 amendment of the NPA Act did put us on the back foot in terms of the hiring of criminal investigators. However, we've overcome many of those. We've gotten a cash injection in terms of National Treasury. Above and beyond that, our sister law enforcement agencies, the Hawk, SAP, SARS, IPED have all come on to say that we are here, we're going to provide resources, we're going to avail resources, but additionally also, we also look we have, above and beyond the prosecutors that we have, we are on intensive hiring drive. But what we're also doing is also getting people from the bar to come to basically act and be given prosecuting powers to come and assist this Butlander. This particular regiment of Victory was assisted by SC Butlander. The Optimum Coal Mine Victory, the lead in that matter was Matthews Shaskelson, SC. So we are using all avenues available. Even on the Optimum Coal Mine matter, you would have seen that his junior was Advocate Kate Hoffmeyer, who was one of the lead investigators, commission evidence leaders rather at the commission. So we are using a whole host of avenues. Capacity is the last thing that we're going to be talking about, and we're moving forward, the second phase, to deal decisively by reclaiming the state from capture.
Sindisiwe Seboka speaks for the NPA's Investigative Directorate. Thank you very much for your time.